Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where you will immediately see that I have rearranged the user interface a little bit. I'm going to be slowly tweaking it as we go through the game. Just every once in a while I'll go in and tweak it a bit more to my liking. I've moved the experience bar up top, I have moved the main scenario quest indicator to the top right, and I moved the minimap down to the bottom right along with the server info. Just putting things in locations that make more sense to me personally, though it definitely probably will look weird to people. Anyways, last time we made our way onto Summerford, where we have been recruited to do some helping out around here on this farm, since the pirates who staff it are not very good at staffing it, it seems. So Stalewern, what kind of work do you have for us here on the farm? Ah, Lancy, that aura of confidence tells me you've not been idle since last we met. I hope I've read you alright, for I have a task that requires the attention of a capable adventurer. Might that adventurer be you? Stalewern, the owner of Summerford Farms, has a task for a competent adventurer. Indeed, let's take care of it, whatever you have for us. Good to hear, then I shall lay before you the sorry tale. You will have heard rumors of the abductions. Aye, citizens have been disappearing from every corner of Limsa, as if plucked from the face of Heidelin, boots and all, by an unseen hand. And what's this got to do with Summerford Farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen, but it seems a collection of right unsavory fellows with azure-tattooed faces has been creeping up to the edges of the fields and spying on my yeomen. Now, I doubt anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times, but the farmhands are convinced that they're the kidnappers of rumor come for their hides. Needless to say, they're beside themselves with worry and their work's suffering for it, which is the very last thing I need when my old crewmen are still getting used to their new jobs. 'Tis a struggle to get them to leave the farmhouse of a morning. That is, as I say, where you come in. Would you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Of course, anything to help out, that is terrifying. Good lass, the sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner this place will start to resemble a working farm again. I suggest you begin by having a look around Grotto. If reports are to be believed, our unwelcome visitors have occupied the place. Be careful though, Lancy, I couldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we're dealing with here. If they are the kidnappers, well, just be on your guard, alright? We just got here, and already they're putting us to work investigating kidnappers. The same ones we were accused of being, so that's lovely. As we head out, we are level 10, so we actually have access to a new mechanic. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Ah, do not tell me this is your first visit to this stop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future. Chocobo porters are a quick way to get from city to major destination. Porters are similar to rental chocobos, which we will be getting into later, in that they can be hired to carry you quickly to various destinations, the differences being that you cannot control these birds and that they will not stop until they have arrived at their destination. On the other hand, porters are trained to take the safest routes, meaning that they will never be attacked while in transit. So if we want to get to a location quickly and easily, we can hire a chocobo porter, and they'll take us to any nearby major destination where we have spoken to the Chocobo Keep. The only exception is major cities like Limsa. The Chocobo Porter will already be considered spoken to there. They will automatically and by default be a destination for any Chocobo Porters in the area we talk to. Renting a Chocobo Porter to take us to Limsa in this case, if we were to speak to that porter back up there, the Chocobo would give us a ride all the way back to Limsa. Doesn't take too long and doesn't cost too much. Cheaper than teleporting, but a lot slower. Faster than walking though, for sure. Alright, I don't actually need to cross the bridge, do I? My mistake. We are heading to Grotto, which we've actually been to before. We went there in order to hunt bogies for our hunting log for Arcanist. Anyways, We can rent chocobo porters to get us quickly to major destinations that we've unlocked, either major cities or chocobo keeps we have spoken to in the field. We can also, in major cities like Limsa Lominsa, rent chocobos so that it costs a bit more money, about 80 gil I want to say, though it probably depends on location. Renting a chocobo, you can actually move the thing around, ride on it, and treat it as effectively a short-term mount. It will eventually expire and go back to the city, but until it expires, you have your own personal mount, which is nice. Anyways, let's head on into Seasong Grotto. Down into the cave. And we have a stone monument here that needs investigating. Probably shouldn't be standing on the thing. You are about to enter an instance battle. Instance battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active help window before answering the call of duty. You are about to enter a special instance. These areas are reserved for important battles which feature unique environmental conditions or powerful boss enemies. Instance objectives can be confirmed in the duty list. For the duration of the battle, you'll be unable to pass beyond the red line displayed on the field. You will automatically leave the instance once all quest objectives have been met. So effectively, we are about to enter our first boss battle, specifically single-player boss battles, which are a very recurring thing in this game, because as much as this is an MMO, it has a very solid, mostly single-player story. Of course, we are still in the beginning stages of that story. It hasn't quite opened up to its full potential yet, and it will take a while to get there. But as I've mentioned before, patience is a virtue, and it will pay off in spades. Let's begin our boss.
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Limsa Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark. Or perhaps not. As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence. Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
And our first boss battle begins with a conjurer by our side. She's going to act as effectively our healer, and she's going to try to be the one who does the main bulk of the combat. Level sync is a system which allows players to participate in lower level duties by temporarily adjusting their levels, and is available for most fates and instance raids. When your level is synced, not only your personal attributes, but the attributes of your gear will be automatically lowered to meet the requirements set by the duty in which you are participating. Once the duty ends, everything is restored to its original state. Experience earned while level synced is based off the synced level, not your current level. However, it will be added to the progress of the ladder. So effectively, we get to have our level dropped in order to be in accordance with the duty we are doing. We're expected to be no higher than level 9 for this duty, so it drops us to level 9. Alright, well, we've taken care of the bogeys to summon as backup, but it's bringing in some goobus as well. Alright, come on, Carbuncle, we are doing a good job so far. Take care of this Goobu, and back to the bogeys. Looks like our friend's probably going to be the one who finishes off the actual frenzied mossback that initiated the attack. But on the bright side, we kept the backup at bay.
Phew! Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation. Awake again, are we? Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
All right then, well that was quite something. Who was this crystal speaking to us? It seems we may have stumbled into a bit more than we intended when we came out to Limsa Lominsa. But at least we have an idea of who the kidnappers might be now, so let's go make that delivery back to Summerford Farms. This is a very irritatingly steep hill. I am not going to lie, my legs hurt just looking at this. Maybe I'm just out of shape, but God, hills. Hills terrify me, especially when they are this steep and you have to climb them for this long. And Satora's just kind of sprinting up, not sprinting, but she's running up them pretty fast. All the way up to the top. Alright, Stalewern, I bring you a knife. And no, it is not a threat on your life. Lancy, right glad am I to see you safely returned. My lads were all gabbing about hearing what sounded like all 7 hells breaking loose near the grotto, and I feared I'd sent you to your death. If you were in the middle of that commotion, I hope it yielded something of interest. I'd hate to think you risked your life for naught. Well, the good news is I'm alive, and we have some evidence to who the kidnappers might be. A blade pulled from the back of a creature you slew at the cave, eh? I had agreed that such a knife would be part of any seafaring man's kit. I'm starting to think these ruffians or pirates come to lure my farmhands back to a life of plunder. Chances are they didn't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep and sent a maddened Gubu upon you. Aye, the pirates have been added to their numbers of late. I'd best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on their guards against their scheme. You met someone else at the grotto? A woman with a strange contraption. Ah, Y'shtola! She's been in Limsa Lominsa for a good while now. Her studies of the ether often bring her out to Summerford, so her presence at the grotto is hardly unusual. She's an odd-looking lass, I grant you, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You may take my word for that. Where trust should be lacking is in those yeomen of mine who have yet to wholly relinquish their pirate past. The temptation to return to the free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. You have my thanks, Lancy. If it weren't for the efforts of stalwart adventurers like yourself, this farm would be in a far worse state than it is. Just you keep on lending your talents to those in need, eh? Help bring Limsa to the brighter future she deserves. Alright, and we have finished up helping with the investigation of those pirates, I guess, lurking around trying to kidnap people. But we still have plenty more work to do here at Summerford Farms. We have only just gotten started. So next time on Final Fantasy XIV. This was episode number 6, I believe. Next time will be Sunday, which means it'll be time for our first side questing episode, where we are primarily going to get started with side quests available here at Summerford Farms, before making our way back into Limsa itself to see how we can help out there. I will see everyone next time for that.